Dave, well, first, just with Tony Gonsolin, you had mentioned that the recovery for him had been, he's kind of going through a few things, but still fine. How important, though, were these extra days just for him to kind of settle and maybe get back on track?
They were big. Hopefully we can get him to a full start. That's the expectation, obviously. I'll watch him closely and kind of see how the velocity, how he's recovering in between innings. But I do think the extra couple days was helpful.
What do you think was the issue in his recovery?
It was just sort of, it was the arm, the body, not specific to any body part or what part of the arm. It just was, he just wasn't recovering. And I think that happens to pitchers at times. So whether it be, cutting some pitches short in the pen or whatever, and it could be just a phase where he's just kind of in right now. And after this one, he could kind of be on the other side of it. So I don't really know what went into it, but he's obviously doing everything he can to prepare for each start.
Just overall, even between starts when he has been pitching, has it seemed like he's maybe not at the same physical peak maybe he was last year, just with how the stuff is looks?
Yeah, I think early when he came back, I thought when he was kind of the governor on the 3 innings, the 4 innings, the 5 innings, I just saw a little bit more consistent velocity, where I think that the last couple, I think he's sort of tried to hold back some and getting into innings and reaching back when he needs it. But I do think that when Tony's at his best, it's 93, 95 every pitch.
And is that kind of the part for him to kind of work more consistently in the games? He needs a little more?
It is. And so it's not like he's trying to not throw the baseball, like he can, but it's just, for me, it's just listening to the medical staff and the training staff where it's like there's something to the body that's not allowing him to hold velocity or whatever. So, from my seat, it's just kind of watching the game and seeing if we can, if it doesn't look right, if we can save some bullets here or there, it can only be beneficial.
So you don't feel like he's guarding?
I don't think he's guarding. I think it's just, sometimes I think it's just takes him a little bit longer to get back into the inning.
You don't have Muncy in there. Is there anything going on with him?
The last time he ran down the line 2 days ago, he right behind his knee, lower hamstring. There's a little bit of a strain in there, so he'll be down today. Potentially tomorrow, be ready to come off the bench. And then the hope is he'll be back in the lineup on Thursday.
You said his left one, the same one?
It's his left one, yep.
Do you plan on doing any further tests?
He's going to get an MRI tomorrow morning.
So this is more than just a cramp from the previous time?
It is, but I still think it's very minimal. But I think just a scan, just to know what we're dealing with.
Gotcha.
Is there a chance you go on the with this?
Right now, no.
Was Julio, I know he threw some flat ground, was he supposed to do a bullpen today?
We were kind of just talking about trying to figure out when we can get him off the mound, and clearly today he just kind of stretched out. The effort was really good, so that's a good thing. I don't know when he's going to get back on the mound, though. I don't.
So, Doc, how do you solve your pitching problem?
There it is.
That's a big question. There it is.
Well, I think it's bigger than just the overall pitching. I think if you break down starters to relievers, I think that there's some starters that are performing, and some guys that have underperformed. And on the reliever side, I would say the same thing. But I think, in totality, I think the reliever situation is we've got to get ahead. We got to get strike one. And when we do get count leverage, we're not putting guys away. So I think overall the defense has been good as far as on that side of things. I think for me, Bill, we got to be better. So these are the guys we have. They've performed before, and I'm going to keep running them out there and expect them to be better.
Do you need to add a starting pitcher?
I don't think it's a need. I think every year, any team that's in the race at this deadline, there's always talk about potentially adding more pitching. So I think our guys have shown in the past that if there's a need, we'll fill that void.
Would it help to have a solid, definite closer, a ninth inning guy? Would that help everybody get in order, whether it's on the team or adding a closer from someone?
It's always good to get, you can always get better, but what I will say is that the guys that we have, they're going to get opportunities to perform. And if they don't realize expectations or their performance, then we'll have a decision to make as an organization. But right now, for me, that's the least of my concerns. It's just too far out for me.
Do you have a
How do you
pitching
navigate the 6 in a row? You went bullpen, kind of went opener with Grove. How do you navigate this without Julio?
Yeah, so Clayton's going to go tomorrow. Michael's going to go and take a regular traditional start on Thursday. And then we'll just kind of see where we're at. Obviously, we've got Shelby Miller coming back from bereavement tomorrow. So that'll be a move, which will give us a couple innings as far as, when he pitches. But I don't know that answer right now. I don't. Right now, I just want to get through this series and kind of see where we're at after that.
Do you feel like you just have to find a way to navigate until Julio comes back, when maybe by the end of the month?
Yes. Yeah. Bullpen games, I do think that it's certainly, for me, it's not sustainable over the course of a long period of time. But I think in its own right can be very positive. It wasn't in Philadelphia. I think that if you watch the game, you can see that there's more than the line score. But again, I think we all agree that it's not sustainable, and we expect Julio back at some point. So this is kind of the genesis behind this. So we're trying to do the best that we can as far as, on that day, try to do the best we can to prevent runs.
Wouldn't Bobby pitch on Saturday? I mean, not Friday, most likely?
What's that?
Bobby Miller on Friday, most likely?
We haven't totally kind of figured out. He's going to do his pen, and we'll figure out if it's Friday or Saturday.
So
but it'll be one of those days.
You're going to need either a bullpen
That's
game
right.
or a-
That's right.
Is there concern with Tony, like if he slots in for Sunday, if it's in line, we already have to fill one spot, either a bullpen game or a starter, that you might have to do 2 of those? Is that sort of the thinking?
That's right. I don't think 2 is going to happen.
Yeah.
So depending on how Tony comes out of this start, whether he could pitch on Sunday on regular, or we'd have to make a move. But I think it's fair to say that we won't be doing 2 bullpen games over the weekend.
How's Ryan Pepiot doing?
Ryan is, I don't think he's picked up a baseball yet. I think he was getting better, and then there's still something there with the oblique, the rib, and we're a ways out.
How much does Julio need in order to get back at this point? If he hits all his markers, like what type of rehab assignment are we looking at?
Obviously, the floor is one outing, but to think that he can't get up to 5-75 to come back and pitch for us, I think is a fair take, given the length of time he's going to be out.
How frustrating is this? This is the first time you've ever had pitching issues in your time here. How difficult is this?
It's difficult. We've had injuries, and like all teams, but to catch a lead and to not close it out, things like that, it's frustrating for everyone. So we're doing everything we can to kind of try to figure out, what we need to get better at. But the bottom line is that our guys understand that, once they're out there, this is an opportunity for them. And it's not from lack of effort, but it's something that's very unique to what we do as far as preventing runs. Very unique.
Have you heard anything new on Dustin May lately?
I haven't. I know it's probably a week out till we see if that PRP takes, where he can pick up a baseball, but I don't know when his next when that's going to happen. I don't know.
Is Hudson as good as his numbers look so far? Is he?
He's good. Huddy's good. It's been really good. I think he's getting very anxious. So I think a couple weeks, but I don't want to put him in a corner. I know he's going to get here as soon as he can, but once he does get here, he's going to make us better. To Bill's question earlier is, getting another high leverage guy that's kind of been there will make us better.
With the pitching, like, do you think not having the shift, there's been some defensive inconsistencies this year? Like, how big of the defense is kind of going into the run prevention?
I think that's, in totality, as far as pitchers across the league, they're all in that same bucket. And we're still not where we are relative to the league. So, I think there's an uptick because of the lack of the shift, but relatively speaking, we're still not performing the way we should.
Pretty weird to be 4 games out right now.
I didn't know it. Thanks for that. When you're not winning games, I tend to not look at the standings. So, no, it's those guys are playing good baseball. So, yeah, we got a lot of baseball left. We got to win tonight, and but yeah, they're playing good baseball.
So one question about Kolarek. He dropped down his mechanics in spring training, and it's kind of against the grain, right? Like, we don't see as many of those guys in today's game. Why do you think that is? Why is that kind of submarine lefty kind of?
I just think it's like the same thing with the submarine right-hander. Once a few years ago when they changed that 3-batter minimum, it just sort of made it hard for those guys to have a lot of utility on the roster. If you're a lefty and you face AK, you're out. But his history has shown that against right-handers they have a lot more success, whether it's a slug or the on base. And I think that's kind of, for the most part, with side armors. But yeah, with the lefty, you're out.
Dave, I know it's a busy time for you right now, but what's it like sharing the stage with the U.S. Open at LACC this week?
It's sort of cool. It's been, I don't remember the last time it's been here in Los Angeles. And how many years? 75 years. And LACC is great. I played it. It's going to be fantastic. I got some friends that are going to come out today. I'm going to go out there tomorrow and Friday and walk with Rambo tomorrow. But yeah, Max Homa's a huge Dodger fan. Colin, big Dodger fan. So it's great. It's a great game. And if I wasn't a baseball player, I'd love to be a golfer. That'd been pretty cool.